are at the Late Night Crafty Club. You will see here that I still have my lovely backdrop, but a little bit better situation. So I'm not like in this little cramped space anymore. I have movement, and unfortunately, I can't see you guys talking. I don't have the visual in front of me at the moment. I have to say this is very this is very weird. All these different setups that we have experimented with trying so that I could continue doing the Late Night Crafty Club while we are still figuring out our living arrangement and like how we're going to set things up. So Mr. Crafty just brought me the laptop. It is down here on a chair out of the camera's view, so I actually have to look down to be able to see you guys. Say hi to me. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. So, hi, Dwala. I see a lot of you guys are in there chatting away before the show. I love to put up little questions that get you guys talking to each other. And I know that for a lot of you, the chat room is like the best part of the Late Night Crafty Club, which is awesome because you get to talk to people about creative crafty stuff and ask each other questions. And I think, a lot of us really don't have necessarily crafty or creative people in our lives. Until I found the planner community, I didn't know anybody who was crafty like I sort of am. So it is really wonderful to see all your little faces. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Miss Ricky. Hi, Anne. Hi, Ellie. It's also a cool thing is that how many of you come from other parts of the world too. So we've got like girls and people from all over, which is really cool. And I appreciate the fact that some of you, it's like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it's the next day, and you guys are here for the live show. So thank you so much. Again, I have my awesome backdrop behind me. I'm in the Reset Girl headquarters, and it is the 14th, I believe. So we are now 2 weeks away from saying goodbye to our commercial space forever. And it is a lot of stuff here. The mystery box, surprise boxes are being packed and shipped out. More of them will get shipped out tomorrow. So that has helped diminish our shelves even further. But we have a lot of stuff to do here. So between that and the RV, our office is located about 45 minutes away from where our RV is parked. So I have a commute again. And so it was really having to get ready to come here to do the show tonight. I made myself dinner ahead of time because the last couple times I've done the show, I get so busy getting ready for the show that I forget to like eat my dinner beforehand. So today was different because I was focusing on self-care and I was trying to make sure that I took care of those things because no one wants to eat dinner at 10 o'clock at night. So I feel like we were just talking because I think yesterday I did my Facebook Live video from Camp Reset. And if those of you who do not know yet about Camp Reset or have not joined, I would love it if somebody posted a link in the chat room for your fellow crafter peeps that may not be aware of the show. Hi, Kelly. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks for the update. Kelly Bangs Creative, my brilliant graphic designer who is, as we speak, getting ready to put the final touches on the week 3 challenge, making it look so adorable and cute. And then I will be launching that tonight, so that you guys will wake up tomorrow and will find it in your inbox, your week 3 challenge for Camp Reset. So if you guys could be so kind, if we do not have any people familiar with the Camp Reset, to post a link. It is, how do you get there? It's on theresetgirl.com, and then I have a Camp Reset page that is just for the camp, and it gives you an entry into the Facebook group. It gives you a way to sign up for the challenges, and all the resources are listed below that we are using in camp. So week 3 is upon us, and this is the very first Late Night Crafty Club for Camp Reset, and I had, like I mentioned yesterday, I had all these visions of doing Late Night Crafty Club, and it was going to be, by a little campfire, and it was going to feel so like real that we were at camp, and then I found out that everywhere I went to test that out, I did not have any connectivity, and that's kind of a key point in bringing this show to you, is I need the internet. So I was not able to do that. And it's really, really hard to be able to see what you guys are saying by having to, I have to come down here to look because these glasses are not cutting it, I think. Thank you so much for all the little comments about my pajamas. These are Target. They're from last year, and I got too chubby to wear them, so I feel like maybe I've shrunk a little bit because I'm wearing them. They buttoned up without the little buttons. Gaping. I'm just keeping it real. I can be brutally honest about my weight journey here, because I know it inspires a lot of you, and it inspires me. I love it when people talk openly about their weight issues, because then I go, well, if she could do it, I can do it. So yesterday's Facebook Live was awesome, and you guys are wonderful, and I got so many great comments and input and how things are going for you guys in camp. And I know, when we first started Camp Reset, there was a lot being thrown at you because we were setting up our planner. But I really wanted you guys to have the biggest and most amount of work right at the beginning, so that if you couldn't get that planner done in the first week, you had the rest of the month to get it done. And I know a lot of you have made comments about, there's just so much going on, I can't focus on camp, and, maybe I'll be doing my camp in August. And the truth is that you are more than welcome to do your camp activities in August or September or November. And you can certainly post your progress and what you're doing in the Happy Place Club, which is another group that I have on Facebook. And it is the club that basically hosts the Late Night Crafty Club, because I like to keep it very complicated for you guys. I like to have a club within a club. It's like club inception, right? So I'm in a authentic camp chair right now. You guys just can't see it, but it's super squeaky and noisy. Like I'm making all these noises just shifting around. So I want to look down and read what your guys are saying, because I feel like you guys are having this whole meeting without me. Like I'm the teacher talking and all the kids are out there, blah, 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 talking to each other. So, okay. Oh, hi, Jenna. Miss Jenna, who is in New Zealand. Our Kiwi Rose, I'm sure quite a few of you have purchased from Jenna in the past in her cute little Etsy store that she had. But thank you for stopping by. And yes, watch the replay. So if you guys can't make it through to the end, this show usually, if I can find stuff to talk about for 2 hours, it usually goes about 2 hours. People drop off, and that's totally okay. You can watch the replay. The only thing you can't do is participate in the chat room in a live, because right now it's being recorded. So when the video airs, sometimes the chat room is visible and you guys can see it, but you can't join it. So we've done it both ways, where the chat room is visible and it's not visible, huh? It's gone both.
Depends on how much screen real estate I have and where we're at.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You guys would laugh if you saw how we have this all set up. I had this beautiful high-tech setup that I left in my craft room, and now we are, it's very different. I'll just put it that way. But that is the wonderful thing about embracing imperfection. And I just decided, instead of everything has to be perfect to do this show, I know you guys don't really care about perfection. You guys care about having the chat room open and just us hanging out, because it's Friday night, right? What else would we be doing? So I decided I'm just going to do my best. We're going to throw a bedroom sheet up, but it's, Martha Stewart bedroom sheet up on the wall here, and bring you the show anyway. So when I do a live show, I can't use all my fancy camera equipment. I have to use this webcam, and I just think it gives a very different experience, especially for me, because now it's a lot harder to interact with you guys, because I got the chat room way over here, and you guys are right. I have to look at you guys, so I feel a little all over the place. So I'm going to do part of the show here in my chair and just kind of talk to you guys. And then I'm going to I'm going to move over to my top-down camera so that you guys can get a peek of my self-care planner. And before you get super excited, I took out all the juicy stuff, and it's basically, I left some stuff that I wanted to share with you, but a lot of it's just blank pages with little headings on them, because I wanted you guys to kind of visualize how you could incorporate some of the things that I've done in my little self-care planner, and it's certainly not finished. That's the wonderful thing, is when you have a themed planner, it's kind of like an art project, and you can keep building and building and building upon it. And that's why I love doing planners this way. And I've been doing them this way all last year. I started turning all my ring-bound planners into basically like a single subject kind of like resource or reference. So they don't have, my daily calendar in them. I keep a separate calendar all to itself. And basically, I kind of make appointments in that calendar with these planners. I'll say to myself, I want to have, a half an hour of self-care time might be spending time in my planner, and I'll make a date with my self-care planner to do that. Now, this was back when I had a real home, and, and I had a little bit more organization in my life. So it's kind of, I haven't really been using a calendar per se on a daily basis, because right now I'm just trying to get my house put away. And I feel like I keep bringing that up, and I don't want to sound like I'm complaining in any way. It's just, you guys could imagine, like, for 2.5 months living out of duffel bags and not having a home. And I mean, every time I go somewhere, I'm missing something I left behind. Like, I got here and went, oh man, I forgot this back in the RV. So it's that. And it's kind of hard to feel settled and at peace when you are constantly moving, staying at my friend's house. And in 2 weeks, we won't even have the office anymore. So now we'll really be winging it and seeing what happens. And we knew going into RV living that there was going to be some challenges, but it certainly has been more challenges than we ever imagined, ever. So it's been interesting timing releasing Camp Reset at this time. I didn't, think my life would be as an upheaval as it was. But guess what? I am so encouraged and, I don't know, uplifted, I guess is the best word. I'm uplifted seeing how much you guys are enjoying Camp Reset, and seeing so many people share little stories about how, this is something that they needed for so long, and some women have shared some really very heartbreaks that they're going through right now, and very big resets that they did not plan on. And some of you have been struggling with many things like serious depression or illness. And so for some of you, this has come at a really wonderful time. And I think that's wonderful. I absolutely believe that God brings challenges sometimes into our lives to grow us as people, to get us to the next level of who we should be. But also that there's timing in our lives where we stumble upon things that it's not coincidence, but it was meant to be. And Camp Reset could be one of those meant to be things for a lot of you. So I'm very grateful that so many of you are just really appreciate it and love it. And it definitely is something that I really wanted to share with you, because, being a planner girl, as much fun as it is, and obviously, it has changed my life. It's changed our lives together. This whole planner girl thing started right before we got married. And I could not have envisioned that our little Etsy store, that it started out being this little teeny store, and all the different opportunities that have come up because of it. But being a planner girl wasn't something on my to-do list, like I'm going to become an entrepreneur and I'm going to do this in the planner community. It was like an accident, if that's for lack of a better word. It was like serendipity. So what's always been on my heart is the Reset Girl message, the message of that you can reset your life at any time. And not just like your whole life, but you can even drill down on little segments of your life. And, there's a lot of people who have, dedicated their lives to being life coaches and inspirational speakers, and they write books because they were put on this earth to encourage others to keep their chin up, to have confidence in themselves. And I'm just one of many people that are like that, that I'm a through and through encourager. And for those of you who are encouragers, you know exactly what I mean. You couldn't not encourage people if you tried. It's like part of your DNA. So I am just so happy that I finally got a chance to do something that was really the Reset Girl message, you know? So that's what Camp Reset is. And this is kind of, you know, a direction I really want to take my brand, where I can create these experiences for people, and to really, like, you know, this was a test run to see how it all went. But I want to create very elaborate, with workbooks and everything. I want to create these kind of online experiences for women and gentlemen that want to reset their life in some way. Obviously, you know, when I reset my life, I really did a huge makeover over all of it. There was a lot of aspects that I kind of tackled all at once. And that was by design, because the biggest job I'd ever had, being a single parent, I kind of felt like I'd been fired from it very suddenly. And I didn't know what to do with myself. And quite frankly, I didn't even know who I was without that identity, as I'm her mother, and that's what I really have to focus on, is this little human being. So a lot of you have shared that with me over the last couple of years, you know, that you've found yourself in these reset moments that you didn't plan on, or some of you see coming. You know, empty nesting is it's going to happen to all of you who have kids. And it's life changing, it is. But there are things you can do to kind of be proactive about it. For those of you who find yourself suddenly divorced, or, you know, abandoned in that way, I know how that feels. That is another thing where it can take you completely by surprise, and suddenly you need to have your plan B. So resetting one's life can take many forms. It can take, in my case, I wanted to do an overhaul, and it started with just really understanding who I am. Why am I weird? Why am I so different? Why are so many things such a struggle? And when you kind of drill down and figure out your wiring, it completely makes the rest of everything you do so much more easier, because you have understanding of yourself. So that's why I incorporate sneaky little things into all of my clubs, where I, you know, in my little prompts, I get you to take the Myers-Briggs personality assessment, because I think that was the biggest aha, biggest epiphany I've ever had in my life. And I want to share that with you. And so many of you who take that test are just like, oh, I totally get it now, why I am the way I am. And it's kind of funny that there are a very large amount of introverts in the planner community, which explains so much, right, about why we love being on social media, because that's the one kind of way that we can connect. Because just because we're introverted doesn't mean we don't love connecting with people. I genuinely love connecting with people in a meaningful way. And so this is like a dream come true, to get to be able to speak into your lives and be able to touch, you know, your heart, and to really encourage you right where you are, that this doesn't have to be the end of your story, and that there's many opportunities to make changes. And as a planner girl, one of the wonderful, you know, strengths that we have is we tend to be very forward thinking. We are very much about the vision of the future, because we're always like planning our task list, the things we have to do, and our goals. That's like who we are, as you know, in our deepest selves, is we are very forward thinking. So I brought Camp Reset to life because I really wanted you guys to have that as a thank you from me, more than anything, because you guys have been able to give me another reset that's far greater than I could have imagined. And I am just very, very profoundly thankful to you. I am thankful to the Lord for giving me favor, giving me a platform, helping me build my Instagram account, and, you know, that people would be interested in looking at my pictures, but so many more of them would be interested in something that I had to say. So I want to make sure that you guys know how much I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. And, you know, it's often, I often find that I realize, like, I realize my strengths and my weaknesses. And, you know, being a business owner is definitely not a strength of mine. So it's definitely it's been very eye-opening, to say the least, to know, like, how where I'm good at things and where I'm not. And I love designing things. I love, I collaborate with my best friend Kelly, and we make all these beautiful things together. And I love getting to talk to you guys and like create clubs that brings community together. I love building communities. And, I'm very, very, very excited about the fitness community that I want to create where, and I'm sure there's a cajillion fitness communities out there, and they're all themed, or, they are what they are. But obviously, you guys all are very familiar with each other when you spend time in my groups. There's a lot of crossover. So I think that it will be really nice that a lot of you have gotten to know each other through the planner community, and there's kind of like a feeling of safety in that, because talking about fitness and weight and food can be it's a very sensitive subject, and it's very controversial at times. So I'm looking forward to being able to kind of bring that little space, into the reset community, because resetting our health and our fitness is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, and it benefits not just us, but it benefits our spouse, significant other, our children, and our grandchildren. I mean, it has like a profound impact because of how it spills over into all the areas of our life. So that's one thing I am looking forward to personally, is getting to really focus on that. And like I mentioned yesterday in my very long-winded live video, a lot of the ways that I have done that has been focusing in on educating myself, and really focusing in on an understanding weight loss. Like, not just, it wasn't really weight loss I focused in on at all. It's really just been about understanding food and what it is I'm actually putting in my mouth. And so that's going to be something that we can talk about in our fitness group going forward. But I did want to update you guys. So I got a couple extra books, and I'm starting this like little library, and I have to be really careful because weight is definitely a problem in the RV. You have to keep the amount of weight that you actually put in RV to a minimum. But I felt like there were some books. I'm just a book girl. I love books. I have hundreds of them on my Kindle, but some books like I just want to hold in my hand and highlight. So I got this book, and it is a Mondo paperback book, and it's How Not to Die, by Michael Greger. He was one of the doctors in one of the documentaries I watched. So it's like a handbook, though. It's like a topical book, so you don't have to read it all the way through. So I got that, and I got the Spiralize It recipe book, because I bought a spiralizer, because I kept seeing all these pictures of like zucchini noodles, and I was like, that looks fun, and maybe that's really delicious. And I'm in the mindset now where I'm open to so much more things than I was before. So I went and grabbed this one, and then I grabbed, my aunt was showing this to me last weekend, and she had bought this, and I had to have it. It's the Homemade Vegan Pantry, and this is an incredible book. It teaches you how to make all your pantry essentials, like how to make cheese, how to make tofu, how to make condiments. So it's all like, you control everything you're putting in, so you know what's in it. I've never heard of being able to make all these things. So I loved when she showed it to me, so I got one for myself. So those are my 3 newest books for my collection. And when we jump into, my little fitness group, this is the kind of stuff that we'll talk about, which is very exciting to me right now. And it all is under the umbrella of self-care, taking care of ourselves. So I am going to take a peek into the group right now, what you guys are up to, because holy moly, there's a lot of talking going on. See, this is what I love. You guys are all chit-chatting and stuff. Well, I'm so glad to hear that people are really digging their self-care planners. And you guys are all so sweet. Sorry, I'm just completely distracted by what you guys are talking about. What are you guys up to? Seriously, like, it starts to bug me in my head going, what are they talking about? Yes. So the A5 planner, and using it for organizing it that way, not trying to cram all of your life into one planner. And I think that is definitely one of the biggest mistakes we make, is we think we're going to make this one planner that will do everything for us. And maybe if you are about simplicity, that's very possible, I suppose. But I'm not, and I love to build resources for myself. That's how I look at it. So whether that's faith or like my health and fitness, whether that's self-care, creativity, I make every planner do a job, and that's all it's responsible for. So I really enjoy that, and I'm going to continue to show that to people when I do my workshops, which I have 3 workshops booked now, and some really exciting news about another workshop that I will announce when it is official. But it is super awesome. So I see some Texas girls here. So in Texas, Flint Gypsies is one place that I am booking in September. And I also wanted to reach out to Little Blue House. And there's a third place that I always forget the name of, but I have been making a little list of all the places I can find in Texas that I could go to during September, which hopefully will not be a million degrees. Because I guess you guys don't know how to have a nice, cool, breezy state like they do here. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on over to it's 8:30. Let's see here. I'm trying to decide how much time it will take me. So I wanted to talk about my self-care planner. And then I was going to show you this other kind of self-care creative activity that I use for myself. And maybe I should show you guys that first. Okay, tell you what. This live chat paused, so I think that you guys are all talking and I can't see the current conversation anymore. So you guys are probably in there talking about me looking at your conversation. And I don't even know what you guys are saying any longer. Honey, would you mind handing me that black book, the black one? Okay, so somehow I feel like when I'm on camera talking to you, I feel like I'm getting my message across differently than if I just sit there and have you guys look through the pages. So I wanted to just talk about hang on one second. Two of the tools. Well, there's 3, but I don't see the third one. It's the white binder over there. Would you mind grabbing that for me? Thank you. Okay. So here's my self-care planner, which I showed you guys when I did the Late Night Crafty Club about preparing for Camp Reset. I put it into my Vanderspec, which is a luxury planner, and it feels so delicious. I wanted to, it's right there. This is so unprofessional. Sorry. Thank you, honey. Okay. So here's my self-care planner. This is one aspect of it. And then I have this other tool that I made myself. This one I made years ago, and I'm on my 3rd one. So I wanted to show you what I'm going to be using to build the 3rd one because I have 2 that are full. So I got these a sketchbook from Walmart, and it's one of those cachet ones. And I think you can get them. I've seen them at Walmart. I've seen them at Joann's, at Michael's. It's just a regular plain white paper sketchbook. It's not super fancy. But I wanted to show you how I turn this into a resource to help me keep a mindset of self-care and self-awareness, and mostly to inspire myself, because I realize that for a lot of us, we're very visual people, and when you're a visual person, something like this is going to be a huge help to you, because you're going to have something that you're like aiming your sights for and helping you visually. It's like a vision board, if you will. But I feel like I take it to the next level, so it's very robust than just being a simple board. I've made an entire vision book, if you will. So I wanted to show you that, as this, I definitely consider this part of self-care. And through the years, when I have gotten into the mindset of like, I want to take care of myself, most of the time it's always been a focus of I want to lose weight. And I think this is the first time in my life where that's not my mantra. That's going to be a side effect, really, of how I'm changing my ways. But it's really awesome to kind of look at something like this, because it's almost like This is a magazine that I made just for Corey. And this is all the clothes and all the articles and beauty products that I love. And it's been designed for me. Like, I'm the editor of this. And that's how I want you guys to look at it. This is a very powerful tool. It has kept me from cheating and eating bad things many, many, many times, because I would just kind of look through it and it would give me the willpower again. Mostly at night, it'd be like the very last thing I would do before closing my eyes and turning the lights out was look through this book. So this is the first one, and I have two more, but I'm going to show you how I get to this point. I'm going to show you all my little tools and my little steps, and then we're going to do a walkthrough of my self-care planner, which I've only shared in my workshop so far, one of the workshops I've taught. But I wanted to show you what I do and really how really simple you can make it so that you can just keep adding to it. And for some of you who have gone, the overachiever girls, and you guys have just put down some really awesome planners, and you have a lot of robust stuff in there already, which is awesome. I'm thinking that we can all learn from each other, and there's stuff in here for everyone. I have overachieving qualities at times, but I would say that this planner, I definitely put a lot of work into it right off the bat, because last year I really embraced the idea of self-care, those term, which has gotten very, very trendy, became a trend to me. I realized that was what I was missing from my life. So I want to show these to you, and then I will hop back here after we're done and say goodbye. So I'm going to switch cameras, and now you're just going to see my little hands just like back in the old days, and I'll show you the good stuff, okay?
You're still mic'd, so you can talk.
Okay. Would you mind handing me that blue Martha Stewart book when you get a chance? Okay. Okay, so this is really weird, but at least this time I can see you guys talking better than I could before. The question about the listers got a list, that is separate. That's a separate thing. I don't keep that with my self-care planner. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who are interested in doing the kind of the fitness group with me, having a book club is an absolute must. I love reading books, and I would really enjoy having others to read with me. So, okay, let's get those out of the way. So, just FYI. And Cobra, I figured I would be shocked if you were not eating a piece of pie or a piece of cake. And you can. You definitely can, girl. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to focus on my self-care planner first, and then I will show you the other goodies I got going. Exactly, Kelly. I agree. I couldn't put everything into one planner either. So I have multiple planners, and everybody asks me, how do you have all those planners? It's because I don't have calendars in all of them. I have one calendar, and then the rest are all, well, you'll see. They're just like this. So we are going to jump right in. So here is the interior of my gorgeous Vanderspec. And if you guys ever have a chance to, I know it sounds funny, but fondle a Vanderspec planner, I highly encourage you to do so. If you go to a planner meetup and someone has one, please ask them if you can touch it. They are just incredible. They're a luxury planner. They're not cheap. I bought this used, and I am thrilled. It was Marcy Penner, who is the one who makes planners and planner stuff for Studio Calico. It was hers, and I loved the color, and the leather is just so scrumptious. So to me, it made sense to turn this into my self-care planner, because then I would really enjoy touching it. We're very, that scared me. Okay. So anyway, in this pocket here, I have some stickers that I wanted to use for like embellishing my pages. This is from the Discover kit, and this, my friends, is a brand new sticker collection that I will be releasing at some point. But this is this new fun little sticker bundle that we're making, and we're going to focus on different aspects of Reset Girl stickers. The layering circle is my signature sticker. It's the one I love. It's the most versatile, and you'll have like I think there's like 14 sheets of stickers in this, and they come from different collections, but they were not identical to the ones I've sold in the past. They also have some like cool patterns and stuff, but a lot of them are just kind of mixtures of other fun little stickers I've done before. So I am keeping them in here because these are my favorite stickers to work with, and that way I will have them if I ever want to embellish pages. So here is my little card that I showed you guys that we were all supposed to write down, our little mantra. And I am noticing that this camera is having a hard time with like the focus, so I apologize for that. We can't use our fancy camera that you guys are probably used to. For the live show, it does not work. So either I have to pre-record my shows with the good camera, and then you guys get to watch them with me in the chat room, or we have to put up with this camera that doesn't like to focus. So I am so sorry about that. So I made myself this little pouch, and I just used a piece of scrapbook paper. It's one of the ephemera keepers, and it has all the little stickers that came from the free printables that I gave you guys for Camp Reset. So that is what is in here.
Go ahead.
It's really turn off autofocus in your settings. Mr. Crafty is working on the control as we speak right now, so maybe that will make things better.
You just can't hold stuff up to the camera now.
Okay. So this is the printable that came from the Late Night Crafty Club where I talked about your word for the year. And this is available in the free resource library on theresetgirl.com. And it is 10 ways to become besties with your word for the year. So I printed it out, and I have it here in my planner to remind me how to keep my word for the year going. And I picked the word strengthen. So that is what Camp Reset has been about, and I even wrote it out and typed it up, the definition and synonyms to remind me of what that really means, and the ways in which I can find to apply it. Thank you, Mr. Crafty. You're our hero. Now we're not seeing a constant yeah. So you guys, we're tech people. Mr. Crafty loves technology, so any excuse he has to buy a new camera or new anything, you guys are giving him the motivation. He's probably on Amazon right now looking for one. You are, aren't you?
If I had my computer over here, I would.
Okay, so you guys are familiar with this if you have used the self-care challenge printables that you get when you sign up on theresetgirl.com. This is the monthly goal sheet, and so it's for putting down your goals for self-care. And then this is it's like a whole calendar, which I have not filled out. You can see it's completely blank, but it's a calendar where you could put the dates down, and then you could put down your little self-care activities you're going to do that are just self-care related and nothing else. So that is the only calendar I really have in here, and as you can see, I'm not using it. So here's the good stuff. Here's the sections. You guys will see now that here's my little tabs, just like you guys got for your self-care planners I provided. So the first tab is my self-care tab, and oddly enough, it is one of the few dividers I've ever had where I did not embellish it, and I just probably because I whipped this thing together for my workshop and never went back and kind of embellished. So that reminds me of this is a great project for me to work on as a creative activity, is putting, using my honeys and all that good fun stuff. And we are going to be launching that digital store, because I've been asked about the printables. The digital store is launching this month. We need to do the last of like the testing of things and make sure everything's perfect and it works great. And then we are going to unleash our print and snip shop to you guys. And I can't wait, because one fun thing that's going to be in there are these like magazine covers that I did for myself and I want to share with you. So I have a whole series of magazine covers in there that you guys can use for notebooks and stuff. But I digress. Okay, so the first little thing in here I have printed up is this 101 30-day self-care challenge ideas. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't even know where this came from. But what I often do, and I shared this with you guys on my Pinterest board, if you guys go to the Camp Reset page and scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that there's a self-care Pinterest board that I have available to you. And this came from there. All the things I have in here came from there. I just probably didn't pay attention and put down the blog resource that it came from. This was an article from someone's blog, but I just printed it out. I formatted it and printed it out for my little planner. So that is how I got it. So, but I shared my self-care board with you, and I love pinning stuff to that. I think it probably has about 150 pins about right now, with really good resources on there for you guys, things to inspire you. And if you have your self-care time, go look at the self-care Pinterest board and start making one for yourself. Start pinning my pins to your board and then start trolling for more, so that you can build yourself what I call a resource. So here's 179 ways to practice self-care. And I have it all printed out on my delicious 32-pound paper. I have this little observe and explore your feelings. Here's a writing prompt. So this is all like exercises that you can do that make you think about, like creating a gratitude list, writing down dreams you have, having writing prompts, things like that. And then here you guys go. So this is what I do most of the time, is I just get a blank piece of like graph or lined paper and I stick one of my little prompts at the top. So this is self-care ideas. So this is all ready for me to go. When I have ideas that I want to add after like reading through this stuff, after stuff I've seen on Pinterest that I don't want to print out, but I can just add to the conversation. So I'm just adding on more ideas after I've already building on to the stuff that I have here. This is 108 self-care ideas so you can change the world. This was somebody's blog post, and I just oftentimes you can either print a blog post and I will choose the A5 setting, which automatically shrinks it down, or I will copy and paste a blog post into like a Word document and then kind of like fix the formatting and then print it onto my A5 paper. And I always pick the booklet or duplex, so it'll print on both sides, so it looks like book pages, which is super fun. It was worth learning how to use my printer just so I could do stuff like this. I keep a stack of blank white paper that's A5 sized, and then I've drilled. I punch it, and I keep it right next to my printer in case I find something I really love and want to print off really fast. I can do that right here. The grid graph paper, Miss Erica. I'm thinking, one really great source for grid graph paper is Yellow Paper House. They sell on Etsy. They sell wonderful paper. And Simple Stories has what they call basic inserts, and those come with lined and graph paper. And that is part of their like planning essentials line. So Simple Stories has it too. Okay, so onward and upward. So here's 108. Aha! I thought I lost this thing. You know how you think you dropped something and you look everywhere for it and couldn't find it? I thought I lost it. Okay, so I wanted to add, here's another one. So self-care ideas. And then I have some blank paper. It's always a great idea to throw blank paper into all of your planners because you never know when inspiration will strike you. And I have already put a lot of my little headers in here So if I have time or something, I can just grab a piece of paper out of here, throw a header on it, and start making a list. So that is a really great place to, that's a great little reminder, is to just keep blank paper in here. So then I have my health, and intentional was my word last year, and I think that it became the first time that I felt like I was picking good words, because the year before was focus, and that didn't work very well for me. But here's my health section, and I have my meal plans, which I do not think that I ever sold these on their own. They are currently in the Reset Girl shop right now. And if you are interested in this, I would grab it now, because we only have a few in there. And they come in a pack like this. They were part of the self-care collection. And I took 2 packs for myself, and I think there's just a handful left. So good night, Miss Teresa. Good night, good night, good night. So this meal plan was something that I loved. I designed. The days of the week go this way across the page. So there's Friday, Thursday, and then you have Saturday and Sunday over here. And then going across is breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. So it's keeping, planning out what you're going to be eating for the week, and then your shopping list here. And I had kind of not even paid attention to this stuff anymore. I've been all over the place with what I've been eating in the last 2 years. A lot of takeout. No joke. And it's probably why I put on so much weight. So now I'm going to get back to having a real meal plan, planning out my meals, having a shopping list. So I deliberately put that in here so that I would be more focused on it. And when I was spending self-care time, this counts as self-care, because it's really Cobra. So Camp Reset is the new Fight Club.
I typed goodnight to Teresa and changed it to gunfight.
Oh. Don't you guys love autocorrect? It's awesome. Sometimes I see stuff you guys write, and I know you've been autocorrected, because I know you didn't really type that. But it's funny. Anyway, so I have a whole, probably several months worth of meal plan pages in here, because I really need to make meal planning a serious focus and priority. So you can see this is like 2 packs worth of them. But you can get them at the Reset Girl shop right now. If you'll notice, we have very limited products in our store right now. We have really downsized, because we are about to launch our new store. And so we'll have a very small store with the physical products, and then a digital store. So you'll have 2. So lots of changes are coming. So, okay, I can't look over at your thing, because you guys are saying funny things. Okay, so here's my healthy blogs page here. So writing down all the healthy blogs that I read or discover. Mostly it's going to be discovering, and I wanted to log them. Healthy sip recipes. This is that Simple Stories paper I mentioned earlier. It's the basic inserts. So they have nice lined paper, and then they have graph paper in the same package. And the paper is really nice. It's 140 GSM, which is very similar to 32 pound. And then this is something that I think is a lot of fun. You guys might be interested. I like to make pages for journaling, but I didn't want it just to have blank pages. I wanted to put quotes and little pictures, things that I thought were inspiring. I went on Pinterest and I found pictures of plus size models, which I think is a very realistic goal. You know, a lot of the plus size models are gorgeous, and they have a realistic body shape, I guess, for me that makes me feel inspired. I love putting little quotes, fun little things like 10 things to tell yourself when you don't want to work out. And so I would just journal in the white space. So it would make, this fun little way of making it look like more of a magazine page, is that I'm giving myself the opportunity to write around the pictures. So it's super fun. And how about this one? This is awesome. So both of these women are 74 years old. The choice is yours to make. So who could not be inspired by that? I absolutely love that. So that is my health section. And now this is the section that I love this. So I call this the new me. So when I think about what I'm going to feel like and I'm going to look like one day, I think of it in a very holistic way. I want to think about well, you know, when women lose weight, they want to like have this whole makeover. They want a new wardrobe. So what will the new me look like? So this is this little section of my planner I built to really help me kind of visualize that as a goal. It's not that I'm going to lose weight. It's I'm going to have this whole new look, right? So I used one of my own little dashboards to embellish that because this is the truth. But confidence. So when I think about the main element that I want to have in my future, like personality-wise, is confidence. I want to be a confident person. I want to be a confident woman. And I saw this woman, and I ran across her on Pinterest, of course. And I saw this picture, and it blew me away. Like I remember like it just kind of like gasp inside. Like that's how amazing she looked to me. She looks the way I want to feel inside. She just looks so bold, so like she's shining. She's so glowing. She's absolutely beautiful. I actually did some research and I figured out she's actually a model and she's from Africa. I want to say she's from Kenya, but I could be wrong. She's on Instagram, and that's how I found her. But she is just stunning. I love that look, that smile on her face. She just looks so happy. And so I wrote something about her. This woman is amazing. Her confidence is obvious in her entire being. She looks friendly but strong. She looks like someone with a big laugh and who carries herself classy, sassy, and smart. I would love to feel like she looks for just one day. So hi Franklin. So this is one of those examples of like almost like an affirmation, a visual affirmation. When I think about being confident, I want to think like I'm going to channel her. Like that's who I would think of when I think of confidence. So yay. So well, I'm so glad you made a live stream. Yay. So that is my girl. I just love her. So in here, I have this whole section where I took pictures from Pinterest that I found to be very inspiring, outfits I liked, clothes I liked, accessories I liked. She's one of my favorite bloggers, and she's an introvert too. But she has the cutest accessories, like real bright shoes and fun handbags. And I just thought like this would be a really great way for me to kind of build that look that I'm looking for, things that I like. I love, when patterns are mixed. She's another really popular blogger. She has her own, she's a plus size model too. A lot of the girls that I follow are, and I'm mostly because I just find them inspiring because I know how hard that is to be plus size. So for women to just be so, I don't know, just to exude that confidence despite that, even if maybe secretly they don't really feel that way, I find it inspiring. So I like to kind of showcase that in here to remind myself. I loved her beautiful green top. I loved this. I loved the polka dots with the cheetah. So I put things in here that I thought were really cute. And if I ever kind of ran across stuff like this in the store, I'd be like, oh yeah, this was something I was trying to get. If I find cheetah shoes, I'll probably snatch them up because that was kind of one of those little essentials for my closet that I was looking for. And I even put like little notes to myself, like this little coat has a very Kate Spade-esque little bow on the collar. So I used like my little Whimsy arrow stickers. Same thing here. I actually found additional outfits that I love, things that I thought like RV living. I thought this outfit was so cute, but very practical for the life that I am leading. I loved this really very graphic dress with the bold red necklace. She is another person I love how she dresses. Super cute tunic, all that good stuff. Good night, good night, good night. For those of you going to bed, good night. I know some of you you guys are troopers. You stay up quite a while just to be in at the beginning. So as I continue, the little leopard shoes. I even made a little note that I ordered a pair of shoes that were similar to these, and I put the little item number next to them and everything. So I just made notes to myself, things that I really loved, and that way, when I was looking through this, I could keep reinforcing to myself, this is what the sacrifice is for. This is what you're moving towards. Again, here's that blogger again that I love. I love her style. She has a Thriller t-shirt paired with a sequin skirt. I just think that's just so fun. Um, I love when people pair like an animal print with like a plaid. It's like very unexpected. And I have found personally, like when I've gone to do like planner meetups and like do events where I have to get up and talk, I feel confident when I wear something very bright and bold. It makes me feel the way I look. So that's why I always wear bright colors, is because I feel like it helps me feel more bold. This lady here, holy smokes, is she beautiful. But she is a plus size model, and she has videos where she shows like how she does her makeup and everything. So I made some notes to myself. What do I love about how beautiful and fresh faced that she looked like, and trying to recreate those that look with my own makeup collection. I used to love, love, love watching beauty videos before I discovered planner videos. So there was stuff in there that I really liked about her, and just adding more. This right here is actually a scrapbooker, but she does this fun little weekly post where she shows her outfit every week, and I aspire to be like that. One day I want to post once a week what I wore Wednesday and show them off my little outfit. And I know that when I finally do that, it's because I have become confident enough to do that. So this is the whole little section of the new me, and what does that look like. So this is, to me, one of the most fun things you can do in your self-care planner, because this is about embracing your whole self, incorporating aspects of, personality traits that you really want to work on. And sometimes working on them means that you visually show yourself, well, what would that look like if I was more confident, more bold, more whatever it is that you want to be. And it could be the opposite. It could be like graceful. If maybe some of you are already bold personalities, maybe you want to like tone it down a little bit. So that kind of thing. I just think that this is really something that could help those of you, especially when you're going through a reset period that's kind of sad. This is something that can give you hope. I used to use this to kind of help me because I was a single woman for so long, and I really wanted to meet the right man and fall in love and get married. So this kind of helped me. This gave me like a visual, like this is how I want to present myself, and I want to look classy and all that kind of stuff. So think about the different, what season you're in and your different goals, and this could be something that really helps you and it's fun to do. And I'm going to show you more about that in my little book here. And then I put my tab at the top here, so because it's part of the new me. The new me would involve having routines. How do I become all these things? Well, I have to make a routine to make sure that I'm, achieving my goals and doing these things that I want to do. This is from a workshop that I paid for, and I shrunk down her workbook into an A5 sized document. So I have this, building your ideal routine, and then I have my morning routine. So clearly you can see that I haven't established one yet. So I have a morning routine page, an evening routine, and the best part is you can write this out, and if you want to make changes to it, you can just rip it out and start over again. You can do it in pencil and, tweak the things that you want to do. So the evening routine, and then I have my self-care plan. So I was thinking to myself, because I deal with depression, sometimes when I'm in a really strong frame of mind, I want to put down like, what's my plan? What do I want to do for myself when I start getting really depressed and really down? So here would be like a way of me writing down a strategy, like an emergency exit plan if things start going south for me. What am I going to do for that Corey? Depressed Corey, sad Corey. This would be that place to write that down. And you might want to think about that for any of you that deal with, seasonal depression, all kinds of depression. What are you going to do for yourself when you're having a day, that's just really hard? Plan ahead. We're planner people. This is where you could plan. Plan. Good night, good night, good night. For those of you who are signing off, minimalism. For me, that has been an aspect of self-care that I've been working on since last year. Is really embracing the concept of minimalism, because it gives me peace when I have less stuff to deal with. It minimizes the time that I am invested having to clean the house and do stuff that I don't necessarily want to do. I don't want to spend my time doing that. And the less stuff you have, the more time you end up with. It's very interesting. So collect moments, not things is a little graphic I saw on Pinterest. And then I started, again, dipping into the world of the blogs. to find little articles and reminders. I formatted it and put it into a Word document and printed it so that I would have this that to remind myself of what is it that you want to focus on for minimalism. That's like food, right? People that indulge in food often indulge in shopping. So they kind of go hand in hand. When you are emotionally in upheaval, you either run to the store with your credit card or you hit the drive-through hard. And I say this from experience. So this is that that thing to kind of remind me to look through to, and I will come back to this because time will pass and then I'll need to refresh myself on some of the important points that I wanted to remind myself of. And again, I have some blank paper, and then I have this section called development. So that's personal development for me. She had traveled so far as one of my little pieces of a little journal card, I think that is. And then in here, I have a list. I started blogs for personal development. So I wanted to add all the blogs, stuff that I see other people. Now that I have Camp Reset going, I noticed that there are a lot of you posting stuff in there that I'm like, wow, I've never heard of that blog, or I've never heard of that podcast. And so here it would be a great opportunity to grab my little headers and start slapping them down on some paper to create lists, because it's all about, to me, development is an overarching topic. It's all about giving me the new me, the new life that I want to have, and I need to learn how to be a minimalist. I need to learn how to be someone who's like healthy. Those are things that I have to learn. So, good night, Miss Kelly. And then I think it's kind of funny that when someone comes back to watch this and they're not part of this whole chat thing, they're going to be like, who is she talking to? Okay, so another aspect of self-care is my faith. So to me, my faith is incredibly important. And even though I have a separate faith planner, it's so important to me that I made a section for it in my self-care planner. So in here, I put, as one of my little Carpe Diem collection, the little inserts. I love those so much. I took a quote I found on Pinterest, printed it, and I put scrapbook paper on the back of it and made it into a little mini, good night, Franklin, made a little mini, what do you call these? I call them like, it's not technically a dashboard, but I forget what I started giving it. I made up my own name for it, but now I don't remember. So this is all about our thinking, your thinking, your train of thought, and praying, and how that all ties into changing your mindset and becoming a new person. And I'm not saying like an entirely new person. I'm saying some of the aspects that you're trying to change and develop and grow. I wanted to change my thought life. I have a hard time with that. Most of us do. So I thought I'm going to throw that in there. Here's Bible quotes that are all about our thoughts and what the Bible says about it. So I thought that was cool. Oh, look, I remembered to put the name of the blog down. So that's thelittlestway.com. Prayers for God's direction, prayers for wisdom, prayer for victory. So that's a little section in there. And then again, I threw the graph paper in there in case I wanted to add my own notes and stuff. And then another one of my little simple stories, Carpe Diem. This is probably one of my most fun products that I got to develop, was the little dashboard inserts. And this particular one was really funny to me because this is the one where I sketched all these out by hand. And this one, the Reset Your Life Admit one, that is my daughter's birthday. So for sure, that child helped me reset my life. So that was a little in honor of her. So that's my little divider. And then I have this feature section here. This is from Pinterest, of course. We were together. I forget the rest. Walt Whitman. I just thought that was absolutely beautiful quote. And so this whole section in here is all about the future and what that looks like. And I found this really cool, and I wish I knew where I got it from. Perhaps if you searched on Pinterest, you will find it. But this one's called the Ultimate Life List. I mean, that's what I think I copied that down from what they called it. And it is this long, long list. And I realized I could check off quite a few things. So I was like, I'm going to print that out and put it in my self-care planner, because maybe I'll get to make a point of doing some of these things. And even if you don't like this person's version of it, if you find it, you can make your own ultimate life list. What is your ultimate life list? You know, and add to it, or make your own from scratch, and then start checking stuff off. Use that as a way to start creating amazing opportunities and amazing memories, and that you're living your life to the fullest that you can. Doing things outside of your comfort zone, things that might, you know, give you opportunities to be that person that you really want to be. So that section is in there. And then I put a little thing, my dream home, which is this little teeny tiny home on a lake. I just think that is just perfect. And I wrote down the aspects of what I loved about it, what my perfect dream home would look like. Good night, Miss Kathleen. And so that was something I really loved. And then I have this creative section here, which I got this from Pinterest. This is one of my favorite pins on one of my boards, is this really cool art journal page that somebody made. And what I keep in here is I put inspiration of things that I really love, pages that I would love to like emulate. This is one of my favorite pages I've ever seen anyone scrapbook. I love the colors. I love everything about it. So I put things that inspired me that I saw other people make. And I thought to myself, if I ever sit down to do, you know, collaging, this, there's a lot of collage artwork on there. This one's a collage. If I ever sat down to make something, I could grab this and look through it for inspiration. Good morning, Heather. Good night, good night, good night. And then this is a printable from melissaesplin.com, who is a beautiful calligrapher artist. And so I shrunk this page down to A5, and so that I had some pages to like practice doing calligraphy too. I thought that was kind of fun to throw that in there. And then at the very back, I have an extra divider that has no job. It's just sitting here waiting to be assigned to do something. And I threw in a paint chip to use as a mini divider. And then I have this subdivider called lists. I haven't put it to work either, but I know eventually I'm going to have a list section, and then I will stick that in there. And then I have a pocket, and it's full of the journaling labels. And here's a little exercise routine I found today that I thought was cool. And so I trimmed it out in a fun way, and we'll put that in the book that I'm going to show you in a second. So in the back, I have added more blank paper, and then I have this new pen. I just got this from Staples. I love it. There was a set of 3 in the package. They're all this beautiful ombre, and it's one of those like precision tip pens, which I love. So I was super, I have not bought myself a lot of new stuff, like stationery and stuff. So that was fun, and it was super cool to have. So I hope you guys, that gives you an overview of what I've got going. You can see it's not super complex or anything like that, but it gives you a great foundation, a great way of, having a springboard of using this as your little creative playground. Like, spend time in it and build things in it. And this right here, I just saw the question about big rings. I know this is like a very expensive planner, but I will say one benefit of it is it has the largest rings in the planner world. You can customize every feature of the Vanderspec, and this, I believe, is what they call 33 millimeter rings. And so nobody has come close to getting, I can't believe how much stuff I can fit in here. Here's one of my Crafty Girl play kits on top of all that paperwork, and it's still not stuffed. It's just super, super, super big. You will be able to fit a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I know it's this expensive planner, but just saying, it does have the largest rings out there. So we're on to the next. Little project here I wanted to show you guys. So I was just showing you how I make those really fun pages to kind of show, like, making collages and stuff like that, and all this fun stuff. So I start by magazines, and I have a few magazines that I really like, and they usually cough up a lot of really good images. This is before Pinterest came along. I was old schooling it and using magazines for most of my images. And then I would take them and I would rip out articles. I would rip out anything that had cool pictures, things that I thought would be, cut that out. Wardrobe made a really good, so some of these are not about the picture, but they're more about the word. So I would just fill these pages, I would just fill a folder full of pages like this. How cute is she in her little fancy red shoes? So I might cut her out and put her in my book, but this is the next step after, having a little pile of magazines. I would just tear out stuff I liked and keep it with a pair of scissors next to my chair. And while I was watching TV, I would just start trimming. And then I would get down to this point where I would start gluing them into my book. So in this case, I was focusing on their hair. I was focusing, this is Christy Turlington's gorgeous eyes, and how they had done her makeup. So I loved that. I was just trying to collect pictures. I thought she was beautiful, confident, and I loved, she just has, you can tell that she's probably not like a size 2. And I just thought at the time when I was losing weight really well, I was like, yeah, that would be perfect. That's a lot like how I might look at that weight. So I just started filling this full of pictures I loved, things that I thought were super cute. I was working in an office then, so I was putting a lot of outfits that I thought, oh, this is what I would wear to work. And some things I made a point of even buying, like that yellow bag I ended up purchasing because I thought it was so cute. So this is one of those fun projects where you're just using a glue stick. And hi, Miss Adele, Miss Inky Quill. I see that some of the stuff in here is this isn't even available for sale because I've had this book for so long. But I used to love putting products in here that I really aspired. Look at this shade of lipstick. What a beautiful shade. Maybe if I'm out and about, I'll find it, not in this expensive form, but maybe in a less expensive. I loved how they did her eyes. So you guys kind of get the idea. I was building a visual, a vision board for myself of things I would wear. And, and obviously I wasn't trying to aspire to have her figure, but I liked her outfit. I liked the way her hair was. I have a very realistic idea in my head of, what I would actually look like. But there were just things that inspired me. I loved how her hair was pulled back off of her face. I thought that was really pretty. My hair used to be very long at that point. I just really thought her hair was done lovely. And so there was a lot of fun things. That's me back for years ago when I lost weight at one point in my life, and I took a sassy picture of myself. And I have in the back here is the other time I lost weight. This is when I reset my life. So I got my weight down to probably the lowest it's been since high school. And I felt like $1,000,000. I felt so confident and I was really proud of myself how hard I worked. And that was my before picture. And now I'm even bigger than my before picture. So what does that say to me? I have a long way to go to get back there. But by this point, I ended up going to Pinterest and finding pictures and stuff. So this really helped me remember where I want to get back to, how good it felt to be able to wear clothes like this. Dana Delaney, gorgeous, gorgeous woman. She's 55 years old here. She does not look it at all. But I use this as a way of inspiring myself. So every single night I would look through this, and when I went to work the next day, this is what I would have in my head. It's don't you want to wear those clothes? Don't you want to feel like that? Look at J-Lo and how confident she looks. Don't you want to feel that way? And so that is what I would use to keep myself on task. And I'm telling you, of all the little tricks that I did, this was the number one thing that I was most successful in keeping me from cheating, was looking through this book. This is actually a blogger. This is her here. And I actually saw her at a event, and I was too afraid to go up and talk to her. I was too afraid to go up and go, hi. I was so chicken. Now I kind of laugh at myself, what? How hard could that have been? But it's kind of funny because I have pictures of her in my little book. I thought she just has such cute style. She's got that little vintage thing going on. You guys know how much I love the vintage. So this is this fun little project that I did for myself. Oh my gosh, this girl is awesome. I love her little green shorts and her little fun top and her awesome hair. So it's just like, how cool is she? Like, who wouldn't want to feel like that? Like, dude, I love myself. I love who I am. Night, Julie. Good night, good night, good night. So I put all kinds of pictures in here, like little sexy pictures and, just normal girl pictures, plus size pictures, just whatever caught my attention, whatever I really liked, I put in here. And I actually ended up buying some of those for the Reset Girl shop, now that I look. So I love this little couple. When I was single, I just thought this was the most adorable picture ever. And I put that in there, and that's how I feel like about me and Mr. Crafty, just like that. So some of the things in here just ended up being super inspiring and really helpful. And if you really want to focus on, just kind of trying to build this new look for yourself and have this like really put effort into your self-care, this is a really fun thing to do. And it's so much like back when we were in junior high, you guys, you remember this, back in middle school, junior high. I don't know what they call it when you're in when you're overseas. I know you guys call grades differently, but high school, I used to love collaging. I used to love cutting up magazines. So we all still love that, don't we? We do not outgrow this. So what I have done now is I have gotten myself into this really cool expanding file folder, and I can keep magazine pages in this. I got this off of Amazon. So it's like a little expandable file that has a happy face on it. And then another thing I use to keep my magazine clippings is I have one of these big giant blue Q pouches. And in here, it's so big I can keep a file folder. And again, it's like full of pictures of like things that have cute words and just stock your spot. This is a perfect self-care. Not because I'm going to buy these things, but just it's a cool reminder to me. Things I thought were pretty. Things I thought if I just use a punch, one of my little circle punches, I could just punch pieces out of some of these images and use them in my, like that. Isn't that cool? And use that in my collaging, scrapbooking, planning. I just thought it would be fun. So I made myself a folder full of magazine pages to use my punch on. And then this right here is, I showed the master notebook. If you guys go back and watch the master notebook video that I did, this is kind of the same thing where I was like, I'm going to make myself this fun book where I'm going to just have blank paper and some scrapbook paper, and I just threw random scrapbook paper in here. And look, I did my very first memory page ever, my one and only page I've ever done. And there's my sweet dad right there. This was a trip they made at Christmas time. So I was going to fill this full of scrapbooking, but now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into my new vision book for, my new fitness journey that I'm on. So this little magazine cover is going to be available in our digital store very shortly, along with some other beautiful covers. But I just assembled a bunch of paper, cut it to size, punched it, and then I used, this is a binding from a One Canoe 2 planner. I used the covers from the One Canoe 2, and I just covered it over, and I show you guys how I do that in the video. So that's what you guys will be doing if you want to buy the magazine covers, is repurposing planners you already own or notebooks and any of that good stuff. So that's what I'm going to do with all my new magazine stuff, is I'm going to make myself another book like this, but now I'm going to focus on this whole new, the healthy aspect of things. I want to focus on, the new eating plan and style that I'm doing. And so that it'll be this really fun kind of self-care geared magazine. And then it really will be about resetting myself. So yes, Alyssa, home, you can do that for your home. You can do that for so many different things. Good night, Andrea and Danella. It's really, I glance over every now and then and I can see you guys saying good night. Good night, Janice. So, anyway, so that is it. That is what I wanted to show you guys, is what I was kind of doing as kind of a self-care activity, is making myself these fun books. This is like the kind of stuff that's kind of mindless, because you're not doing any like big planning or thinking. You're just cutting pictures out and pasting them in here into your book. And it could be about anything. It could be about your family. It could be about homes. If you have house on the brain and you're looking to buy a home, and you're going to build a home, or that's just something that you're hoping in 10 years you'll have a home, that's a great book to make. Is all about homes and what yours could look like. So yes, Megan, I want to put like vegan, vegetarian stuff in there, and because I'm looking at food completely differently than I used to. So now that food's kind of exciting again, kind of fun. So that is what I was going to do. So I know some of you guys are night owls because I see you guys staying up late. So if you guys like being part of like the chat and you guys love like live streams and stuff, Miss Inky Quill, who I saw her in the live chat, she does these wonderful like 7-8 hour long scrap streams, and I think you do them once a month. Adele, they're so awesome. I don't know how you come up with all those ideas, but to do it that long. But if you guys love like watching someone be creative and work like that, that's a really wonderful that's a really wonderful channel to watch. It's Inky Quill, Inkie Quill. So you guys, any questions? Or you guys have anything to chat about? Because we have some time before I have to go, and I can see you guys all talking. You're a cheerleader for a week, and Miss Cobra. Exactly. Pinterest will suck you in. But totally worth it sometimes. Totally worth it. It can be a very powerful resource to add and make great, great tools to help you in your life. So, 16 hours. Could you imagine creating for 16 hours? Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I have, that might be like, that might be it for the year.
You watch or eat 3 meals.
Yeah, Adele, do you eat during that? Like, how do you take breaks? That's crazy. I love that though. I want to sit through one of yours, and actually that is how I found you. Is one of the lovely ladies here, and one of my followers here mentioned that you do these lengthy scrap streams. So I'm like, I want to see what that's like. So that is how I went and looked you up, and then I subscribed to all your channels because you're awesome. So I have all this delicious stuff, and for once I actually ran out of stuff to say. It could be a first that we actually have a late night crafty club under 2 hours. So it would be a crafter's honeymoon.
Then we can go home and go to bed.
I know. So yes, I am going to. Maybe I should shift over to the chair so we can chat. We can chat. Yes, pouch is blue. The blue Q. This pouch right here is blue Q. I don't know if they still have it. It's under jumbo pouches. And look, you guys, the jumbo pouch is big enough that you can put a full letter size folder in there. So it is literally jumbo. It's awesome. And this is like my favorite one they have. And it's gusseted, so you can put a lot of stuff in there. And I have like 3. So Inky Quill, Inkie Quill, Quill. I feel like I made a spelling bee. Inky Quill. And once you see her main, like that channel, then you can see she's got like, I think a total of 3 channels that she has. But she's been helping me get my mojo back. That's what I've been watching for like my creative time, is I'll go watch Adele do some scrapbook layout. So, and I have to admit to you guys, I've actually purchased some stuff, some crafty stuff, because of watching YouTube and watching. So we all enable each other, unfortunately, at times. So, okay. Oh, no. Good night. Okay, I'm going to take the, thank you, Corey. Awesome. I'm glad that you, I'm glad that you guys looked it up and then it was there. Because they're fun pouches, and I think I have like 3 of them. 3 or 4. Okay. So I am... Okay, I know. I am. I'm fangirling. It's blue Q, Lynn, with a Q, the letter Q. There we go. Hi. So I got my eyes down here because I'm looking at you guys talking. Because now I'm just sitting here. We're just hanging out because I'm I'm done. I shared everything I got to share. And, it's been a while. I feel like it's been a while since I've done any crafting or creating, and that has largely been due to, we moved out of the house. At the same time, my dad was diagnosed with cancer. So we were going back and forth to spend time with him. And I just didn't have a lot of time to set anything up or have a place to set things up. So while I was down at my parents' house, YouTube became my friend again. And I discovered Inky Quill. Well, I shouldn't say discovered because I'd actually seen her for a while before, but I became obsessed with her videos and watching her videos. And so that's what I would say to you guys. When you go through your periods of we all, as creative people, we dip. Sometimes we just kind of get into a little rut, or we just lose our interest, especially if you deal with depression. You can lose interest in it, and that's really hard. And when it's your job, it's even harder. Like, I got very down on myself that I wasn't being creative because this is your job. It's your livelihood. You have to do something. But I have to say that when you get like that, the best thing you can do, if you can't bring yourself to do it yourself, go to YouTube. Start watching other people be creative. Just be plugged in and just be passive. Watch it from afar. And you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do any of it yourself. But I have to tell you, that made me feel connected. It made me feel like still part of things. And it made me feel like I want to do that. I want to learn how to do that. I've said it so many times, I'm not a scrapbooker, but there's so many aspects of, what I see women do with their layouts that is just like, I can do that. And I want to do that. So it really got me interested again. And it got me like wanting to do mixed media again. There's so many things that I kind of put on the back burner and got me excited. So if that's where you're at times, go back and watch videos. Go watch some of my videos from back in the day when I was actually crafting and being creative. And I know that I will again. I've been working really hard on my RV and getting my little craft space set up. And I can't wait to just flip that camera on again and just be creative and let you guys watch, me go. And I think that I guess I didn't really appreciate how much you guys appreciated that until I appreciated someone else sharing their talent with the world. That's when I started realizing this is what it feels like. This is why people say thank you to me, because I always kind of went, well, I'm not doing anything. But now I get it. I get why, people feel that gratitude, because you're helping, Adele Inky Quill, she helped me hang on, to that, love for creating, even if I couldn't do it myself. And so that's a wonderful thing about our community is that, a lot of people don't get why we are into planners and anything. But what's really fun about us as planner people is we've found a way to take this tool that's meant to get things done and do tasks. And we've taken that and made it a creative canvas. We have found a way to use the washi and the stickers and then watercolors and all this new fun stuff that we do now. We've found a way to make it a creative outlet. And I think for some of us, it feels safe. It's not like staring at a blank sheet of paper. Sometimes when, I'm faced with a blank sheet of paper, I just don't even know where to start. And I think the planner kind of made it safe to kind of tippy-toe in and just I can fill that little box in. I can lay a sticker down. I can put a little piece of washi down. So I think that all of us have great potential to be doing so much more. And it's just that matter of getting comfortable and how much you love doing it and how much of a priority you make it. So to me, my self-care, it's a big reason why I made sure that creativity was listed as an activity that you would do at Camp Reset. Is one of your habits that you would do every day is spend, this much time. I think it was just 10 minutes of each day of being creative that, you could do to really help you stay motivated and grow, and grow your skill level. Try new stuff, you guys. Stickers are awesome. Washi's awesome. But try things you haven't tried before. Try stamps. If you've never been a stamper, try it. Try a different technique or a different tool or a different product and to see what you like. And you might find out that maybe you are a secret art journaler. You're a secret mixed media artist inside, and you just don't know until you try. And that's what's really great. The one thing we all have in common is we're paper crafters. We all love paper. That's the one unifying thing about us. And all the rest of what we do on that paper is just determined by the materials you use. But if you can do, creative planning, we can do just about anything creative. It's just a matter of learning the skills. And there's people in our community that we can really avail ourselves of. That's why they make videos. That's why they share their talents with us. So flip on YouTube. It is such a huge gift to be able to plug into that, all over the world, people doing all these amazing things with paper and stickers and paint, and that we get free art lessons and inspiration to nurture our little creative voice. So there's that. And now I'm back looking down here. Yes, ink washes. That's definitely one thing that I've been seeing. I went and I bought myself some new supplies. And I promise you guys, I have a haul video. I've never done a haul video. And it's a little embarrassing to do a haul video after I did a de-stashing video. I know Mr. Crafty's looking at me. But it's products I bought that were not what I owned before. It's new stuff. It's getting me going down the road of this is the stuff I really want to hone in. I really want to learn how to use these things. So that's been a lot of fun to just... I keep hearing the word glowy, that I'm very glowy, plant-based. I hope I'm glowing because I am not seeing, there's no movement on the scale, but if I'm glowing, I'll take it because I am really enjoying eating plant-based food. I did not think I could, but I really am. And I have to tell you, I am really excited about where this is going. Mr. Crafty and I talk about this a lot because we've always talked about food a lot. But this is really new for us, making this huge change. And I'm just really excited about it. I am ready to jump in and learn how to cook this way. And so yes, thank you for the lovely compliments about being glowy. I definitely will take it. And yes, Jane Davenport is an awesome teacher. She has a YouTube channel. And some of the girls, I think almost all the girls that I follow, all are from Australia. They all have those beautiful, delicious accents, which I think is part of the charm of listening to them. They say things differently than we do. I hope that we sound as charming, us Americans sound as charming to you Australians as you are to us. I just love all the cute expressions you guys have. I hope we have cute expressions. I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but yes, Betty. See, I keep seeing now there's more people mentioning it. Yes, I eat plant-based. I've been doing it. It's wonderful. I am excited to feel good because I feel elderly, to be honest with you. So I'm looking forward to really changing that around. And that's a lot what Camp Reset was meant to do. It was meant to really just inspire you, whatever area has been a struggle. And that could be, self-care in general. It could be eating, it could be movement or creativity. Those are the 4 things we're focusing on in Camp Reset. We still have tonight, after midnight, you guys will be getting an email from me, your camp director, that will be for week 3. So we will be focusing on stepping, walking around. I do have a couple options for people if you are low mobility, so that you do not feel left out. But we're going to focus on movement and, trying to get ourselves going. So we've got 2 challenges that will help us do that. But I want to remind you guys to continue with your healthy habits where you're doing, we're hoping that you're going to continue doing, your physical every day, your creative part of your challenge. And what was the other thing I asked? I said physical, and self-care. So self-care time. So all these things I'm showing you, like working in your planner, making a fun vision book, that all counts towards self-care. That's all part of it because you're focused on you, and that's the number 1 part of it. And the more you take the time to do that each day, the more you have to give others because your little love tank gets filled back up again because you're loving on yourself, and then you're able to turn around and love on those that need you too. So that's really important. Hello, Minnesota Backyard. That's a cute name. See, it's true. And the thing is, Miss Cobra, are you talking about how you forget how old you are? I think in my head, I feel young, right? But my body will remind me otherwise. I have the hardest time getting up off the floor. I just, everything hurts to sit on the floor too long. I used to be able to do that with no problem. Like, I realize that I am aging my body by keeping all this weight on me. So, and I finally have found, I finally got it in here that it's about what I'm putting into my body that's causing the most problem. So that will be something fun. I'm very excited, as you can tell, because I keep bringing it up of what we're going to talk about and what we're going to focus on in the fitness group. And I really want to find a way to bring creativity into it. So I definitely think what we're going to do in there is do like books like this, or like work on like exercise books, or just books that are all about looking and feeling great, you know, and not, and I don't mean that to be like shallow looking, you know, looking great, but like looking at glowing women and women that look happy and they're just, you know, they look fit and they look, you know, whatever fit looks like to you. That's inspiring to me at this point, because I definitely don't, my body does not agree with me. So, yep, week 3 is what we are facing next week, and you'll be getting that tonight, which means if you're here in America, when you wake up in the morning, you'll have it in your inbox. And again, if you think that, you know, you're not seeing it, okay, not if you think, but if you're not seeing it, sometimes it takes the system a while because there's so many people signed up. It takes a while to work through all the emails and get it all off. Plus, a lot of you have limitations on your inboxes, and our files are fairly large. So sometimes that's been a holdup of people not getting their email, is because of that. We've been in touch with ConvertKit, which is what we use to deliver our emails, to ask them questions like, why do so many people say this? Like, they're not getting, what are reasons why, you know, people might not get emails? And so sometimes it has something to do with, you know, if you've checked any of my emails that you've ever gotten from me as spam, it will automatically block me forevermore of ever being able to send anything to you. And if that happens, we actually have to contact ConvertKit to give them permission, like to tell them, like, this person, like, you have to uncheck it, and we have to contact them to let them know they can take it off. That's how like a big deal it is that they do with email. So just consider that. You can unsubscribe from me, but please don't spam me, because if you call me spam, I can't ever deliver to you again. So, and I don't want.
They don't have to report us.
Yeah.
To spam. Just within their email
provider. So, right. So if you Gmail, for instance, and you go, hey, flag this email as spam, that's it. It will break up we'll be breaking up, and then we will not be able to be friends anymore through email, and that would be very sad. So that definitely was an issue that some of you guys have had, or the email address that we use when we send you stuff actually is do not reply, which sounds so friendly. But do not reply at theresetgirl.com. If you are ever in doubt of whether you got an email from me or not, you can search for that in your inbox, in your promotions, in your social folder. It could end up in lots of places, and look and see if that's where I am, because I might have shown up there. So, but I want to make sure that you guys get your, thank you. Thank you, Miss Maisha. I appreciate that. I have my own folder. Yeah, you guys make a folder with the Reset Girl on it, and you can set up a rule and everything. If you're techie, you can actually set up a rule that my emails go right into a folder. I do that with when I sign up for workshops, or I sign up for like a webinar, or anything I know that there's going to be like a series of emails coming in. I create a folder and make a rule that address all the emails will go right there, so they will not get lost. Because we are not able to respond to the email trouble emails as quickly as we would like to. So you don't miss out on anything. We do have an auto response when you email us at slapithy@theresetgirl.com. If you send that email to us to say, hey, I'm having trouble, the auto response you get in return will have troubleshooting tips in it. So I would encourage you to look at those. Mr. Crafty kind of broke down and put links in there for you to kind of help direct you to where to go and how to get back on track. So it is 9:30, 11:40, and you guys are all talking about. Yes, Miss Sharon. There is a rule. I know there is a rule. Like I don't know how Gmail works, but I know you can do it in Outlook, which is what I use because I love Outlook, and I have all my emails go to Outlook. Like I have Gmail accounts and a Yahoo account, and they all feed into Outlook, so that's what I use. But I don't know how Gmail works. I've never figured it out. But you guys are all talking about diets, and it's 11:40 here in Texas, Miss Jennifer. Good night, Andrea. It is 9:40, so it's 11:40 where you guys are, and even later than that in New York. So, all right. I often feel like maybe I should just leave the chat room on, and we'll go. They can keep talking. Really? Okay. Oh, so Mr. Crafty thinks that hi Patricia, once I shut down the video, that you guys can keep talking in the chat room.
I think so.
Okay. Yay! Yes, all my European girls. You guys are just waking up, and here we are going to bed. Sorry about that.
This is the most exciting part for the people who are watching the replay of the YouTube video.
So Mr. Crafty has pointed out something. So when you are in the live version of this video, it's very fun, right? Because we're all in real time. We're all talking to each other. But if you are the person who's watching the video after the live version and you're just watching this, then you're watching me interact with like my lap right now because you don't see anything. There is actually a chat room going on and I am looking down at it. So I'm sure it is a very different experience if you are watching the replay. And I wish there was something I could do to bridge those two things together so you felt like you were not being left out of, like, I feel like you guys are being left out of a joke or something. Like we all have the secret password, but you don't have it. So unfortunately, and I know a lot of you guys are really, really troopers staying up so late, and some of you just can't do it for like all kinds of reasons. So I wish there was this way that our time zones all melded together, in like a symphony, and we could all be up and alert all together, be in the Late Night Crafty Club. But exactly, Miss Cobra says using the flex time capacitor. So next week will be another Late Night Crafty Club because I scheduled myself, I believe, for 3 in a row because that's how much I love you guys. And I am not quite sure what I will be talking about. I wanted to kind of tie in each of the Late Night Crafty Club episodes to one of the topics that we're talking about in camp. But because it's supposed to be the Crafty Club, I actually kind of wanted to show you the crafting aspect of it. So it'll be interesting to see what I come up with for next week. If you guys have any suggestions, I am completely open to hearing them. I'm open to suggestions because sometimes I get really low on ideas. And how would you share your ideas? Well, you could email me at slapithi@theresetgirl.com, or you could post in the Camp Reset. You could post your suggestions of what you would like to see for the Late Night Crafty Club, or in the Happy Place Club. That's another place you could do it. Those are probably the best ways to do that at this point. I feel like I miss when people try to private message me. I miss stuff all the time, and I feel like I get a lot of messages, and so things get bumped down, and I think sometimes they either disappear off the radar. I don't think that any of the major platforms hold on to messages forever. So I don't even think to check sometimes. So, and I apologize if you've ever reached out to me that way and did not get a response. But I would say slap it high at the Reset Girl. If you want to take the time to do that, I would appreciate it because I love hearing what you guys want to hear me talk about because, like I said, I can simply run out of ideas, and I want to talk about stuff that you guys want to talk about or hear me talk about. And I definitely want to get my crafting back, going. But I think right now it's a little challenging with our camera setup, that seemed like it worked out okay. So we'll see. Maybe I can actually do some crafting. Maybe I will figure out a way to focus on the crafting stuff for next week. But again, can you see the chat room on the replay? I think in the past we were able to see one.
I had more screen real estate
Okay.
to set things up the way I wanted
So
to.
no, if you are watching this right now because you're watching the replay, I am so sorry that you are missing out on the chat and seeing all the women. And we had Franklin in here earlier. Everybody is chatting away and having a great time, and I am trying to like interact and answer questions, and so I just look like I'm looking at my lap and talking to myself. But that's what's happening. So no, unfortunately, the chat room is not visible at this time, but hopefully soon when we get our camera set up differently and we can go back to having a lovely camera set up where I can kind of like click off to one view and another view and show you guys like my crafting and have it be lovely the way it used to be, because I like that too. And Skills Day. I do not have an update now. I have to make a decision. Either I'm going to put Skills Day next Tuesday, which would fall on the same week as our next game day, or I will have to see if there's one last week in the month where I could put it. But unfortunately, I had to reschedule. I had no choice. So we will see. I might skip it and just have you do one skill day. I kind of wanted to do some fun skill, learn some little skills about social media and how to like navigate around. I think a lot of you guys would enjoy and be able to find things better, like the hashtag hunt. It's really going to help a lot of you guys understand how some of the social media places work. And that will help you find other planner people, other communities, other things. So it's kind of, for me, I am self-taught. A lot of it I had to figure it out. And I'm a Googler. I will Google every question I have. I go to Google and ask my questions. Like, what does that mean? How do you do this? So I'm very resourceful that way. And so I wanted to kind of like give you guys an opportunity to do it like as a fun game where you were learning how to use and hunt down certain types of information that would be useful to you in the planner community, in the creative community. So you were learning a really useful skill that was worthy of a badge, right? So, bye, Yankee Quill. Bye, bye, bye. Aw. It was wonderful to have you. Thanks for showing up. So, Miss Mandy, the hashtag hunt, I will explain everything when that is a game, I believe. Actually, the hashtag hunt is a skill. It's a skill day thing. So I always explain everything in the little email that you guys get, like the little printout, so you will have the directions on how to do that. So, but it's coming up, and I just gave you a big hint about what we will be doing through. And thank you very much, Danza. I appreciate that. And my Tinky, that's so cute. So PGSM, NAPG. How about the skill of using various pedometers, step tracker, timers, soup, and weights? Sue, that is a good point. We might do, that could be a fun thing, is learning a skill related to the actual little tech options you have, because there are some really fun things for exercising, that every time like I do a little deep dive into, technology to like what's out there, I'm always astounded at the type of apps there are available and the type of things that people have created to help us just like move more, like do steps and counting and walking and that kind of thing. So that one, I think it's Zombie Run. Someone told me what the name of it yesterday and I've already forgotten. But there's really some fun stuff out there. So maybe that might be, I think I have 2 total skill days, and I think I have 1 planned and 1 unplanned. So I know I launched this without having everything in place, but that's just how it is. So yes, I would love to get back to a point where I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this thing in the Late Night Crafty Club, and here's the materials and what we're going to be doing. that really is my dream. When I get everything back online to how I really want to get the Late Night Crafty going, it's going to be like that, where it's planned out. I tell you guys in advance, and you can show up and you can do your own little craft on the side and just listen, or you can jump in and do it yourself. So along with me. So I'll work that out. I think what will happen, that's right, zombie run. Okay. So how to utilize multiple planners. So that is an excellent topic. It is something that I have touched upon in my my planner class that I was teaching, where I was showing about 6 different planners I had created. But I would love to teach a master class that's kind of like, here's how you have like a boss planner, and then here's how you have a planner team. Because I think that's going to be like overarching, is going to be an awesome skill and resource to have for yourself. Because I think, we all look at things so differently, and it'll be really fun to have someone share with you like how I do something you might not have thought of before, and go, oh wow, this is a great solution, and that'll work for me. And some of you might go, oh well, maybe if I tweak this, then it'll work, and others will be like, not for me. So that's the wonderful thing about being in a community, is that you can pick and choose what does and doesn't work. So goodbye, Narelle. Bye bye. I missed something. What leaf necklace? I've seen the leaf necklace. Miss Anne, I am intrigued. What are we talking about? So, and doesn't the word masterclass sound awesome? I just love that. I've been seeing that more and more used, masterclass, and I'm like, oh yes. So, okay, Miss Cobra Jones, good night, girl. Mwah. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Am I saying it, Colleen? Is it Colleen? A boss planner. So a boss planner is your main planner. It is the boss of all the other planners. It has your calendar, and it has like your most, like for your daily to-dos, your absolute must-haves, your most important. I got you, Jay, now about the leaf jewelry. Okay, so it's about. Sorry, this is like a squirrel magnet. It would be the thing that just is like the center point of your command center. It's the boss. Now, you don't have room often in a planner for all the other aspects of, different tasks you might have, or a resource you might want to build. So in this case, I have a separate boss planner with my calendar, but I will use that to schedule time with my other planners. And I have a faith planner, I have a creativity planner, I have a happy place planner, I have my self-care planner, I have an RV planner, I have a camping planner, but now the RV and the camping are going to have to meld together. I'm trying to remember if there's any other planner that I have. I feel like I'm missing one. So I will basically schedule time in those planners. I'll say, it's time. I'm going to spend some creative time today in my creative planner. And that's a planner that I built just for my creative life. It's just a resource, just like I showed you my self-care planner. There's no calendar in it, and it just has lists, ideas, resources, blogs. It has lots and lots of pictures of projects that I want to make, active projects that I have going on, so that I can kind of like log them. And it's super nerdy, but I have that. I have my Happy Place planner is a planner I built just to be my happy place, and it's actually what inspired creating the Happy Place Club. So I wanted a place that I could come to and get like refreshed and renewed. And sometimes, a year or so ago, I had a terrible, terrible drama to deal with in the online community. And so it was really getting to me at the time, and it was really stealing my joy and making it very hard to continue doing what I was doing. And so I made a planner that is filled with comments and emails and things that you guys have sent me, so that I could remind myself, I could go to this place and remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I put quotes in there and beautiful pictures, things that made me feel happy. And in doing that, it really inspired me to think about like, what if I had a club that was like this, where it was just a happy place, where we just posted the happy moments. So not just about me, but you guys too. Like there's achievements you guys have that your kids have, that some of you become grandparents or parents for the first time, or find out that you're having a baby, or that you do awesome on a test that you have to take, or you're about to graduate college. There's so many like wonderful moments, and it would be wonderful to have a community that you could be like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is happening to me. Big, little, small, like little things. I got a new planner. Look at my planner spread. It could be little to big. So that's what I started thinking. The way that I felt about this planner, this happy place, I wanted to share that on a broader scale with you guys. So that is why we have the Happy Place Club. So it was inspired by a planner that I made for myself. So sorry, I'm looking down again. So I am going to be working on lining up the workshops that I want to teach. And I'm going to I have 3 planned out that are all going to be online based. So that concept of having the boss planner and the team, that will be one of them. And the Faithful Girl Planner Workshop will be another. And those are going to be coming soon. I know I've said that for so long, but as soon as as God is my witness, as soon as this whole RV thing is squared away and I have my little space set up again, I am ready to go. I have everything planned out, and it's going to be awesome. And I will be also traveling for the rest of the year. Starting in September, I will begin teaching. So far, it's been the Faithful Girl Planner class that I will be teaching, which I am so excited. It's my favorite workshop to teach. I can't wait. I'm not even nervous at all about getting up in front of anyone, because I just can't wait to share with you my heart and how to build this amazing resource to help you in your faith walk. So that is what's coming ahead. And it is Mr. Crafty's doing the wrap-up sign, like, it's time to go, it's time to go. So I wish I had like cool like music, like my little theme song where I could cue the music and everything, and we could do the credits rolling, but that's just a little too fancy for us at this stage. But you guys, it has been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to get to spend time with you again. I appreciate how many of you guys showed up and made it, and hung out with us as late as it is where you are. And I hope that those of you who are going off to bed, that you have great sleep, you wake up refreshed, and that you will run to your little inbox tomorrow and get your week 3 challenge and get your steps on, because we're going to be focused on moving ourselves all next week. Movement, 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 because we shouldn't be sitting around too much. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for being here, for being part of the Late Night Crafty Club, and for being so supportive of Camp Reset. I'm so glad it is doing its magic. So you guys are awesome, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody. Mwah.